Chapter 14, The Cat and the Mouse Enhanced Edition, by Brian McCain Brothers. The city wasn't asleep. It was on standby, breathing in short electric bursts. Neon signs bled into rain-soaked streets, flickering over the wet skin of alley walls. Sirens didn't scream anymore. They whispered like insects picking at the edges of a carcass. Brian stood by the apartment window, a phantom outlined in the faint pulse of traffic lights. The glass held his reflection, and the reflection smiled back, like it knew a secret he didn't want to hear. That smirk, sharp, slow, poisonous, didn't belong to a grieving man. It belonged to the one who came after grief, a Brian. The voice slithered in like smoke, smooth, sardonic, impossible to locate. You still think you're the hero in this chase. He didn't move, didn't answer. The cool pain beneath his palm was the only thing anchoring him to the moment. He felt the hum of the city through it like a pulse beneath skin. Ex-Marine, special effects, genius, husband, father, labels that once meant something now just echo chambers. Mr. B's voice smiled without sound. You know what I adore about a good hunt. The mouse always believes it's choosing where to run. Brian exhaled slowly. His training came back in muscle memory, counting breaths, isolating noise, ignoring go. When he opened his eyes, he was somewhere between a soldier and a surgeon. Cold, methodical, dangerously. He laid tools on the table like a priest preparing for confession. Rolls of gaffer tape, a spool of translucent fishing line, a portable relay switch, epoxy, and a smoke machine no bigger than a shoebox. Shadows from the street stretched over the table, making each item glint like a secret weapon. "Oh, you think you can tape over the truth?" Mr. B whispered. "Ah, cute." Brian ignored him, but his reflection didn't. In the window, that grin widened, knowing. The glass didn't reflect light anymore. It reflected intent. Down below, an unmarked sedan idled in the rain. Inside, Detective Davy sat with a notebook and a face carved from insomnia. The car smelled of old coffee and something metallic. Memory or guilt? "If he's in there," a voice said from the passenger seat, "we go clean." No fireworks. Davy nodded but didn't agree. The word clean meant nothing in his world anymore. He watched the third-floor window blink once, a pulse of light, and wrote the time down. He didn't know why. Habit, maybe. Or instinct. His phone buzzed. A security still of Brian at a bodega, buying batteries and tape. The timestamp was 9 minutes ago. Davy stared at it. A man building illusions for a living didn't just shop. He storyboarded. Units 2 and 3 head to Elm and 3rd, he said into his mic. No lights. He knows what sirens mean. The theater was older than memory. Dust hung in the air like breath that never made it out. Brian slipped inside through the back door, carrying the duffel as if it contained something living. The space was cathedral dark, the stage half rotted, the seats sagging under invisible weight. Yet here, among props and ghosts, he felt strangely alive. He set his trap with the patience of an artist. Smoke machine hidden beneath a chair, relay wired behind a cherub's plaster grin, fishing line threaded through balcony rails like spider silk. Each connection hummed faintly, a heartbeat waiting to be triggered. "You're building a ballet," Mr. B said softly. "A performance no one asked for. I'm building clarity. I call it what it is," the voice purred. "A confession in disguise." Brian's hands paused. The memory hit. Lee's laughing under set lights, face half covered in prosthetic gore. "You make monsters too pretty," she used to say. "Oh, they look real enough to love." He swallowed hard. Don't," he whispered. Mr. B chuckled. "Don't